Hello and welcome. Tonight, Army vows never to allow further humiliation by insurgents as military plans new strategies to end terror in the northeast. INEC Chairman Professor Atahiru Jega reaffirms the Commission's readiness to conduct March 28 polls, dismisses rumor of resignation. New NLC president moves to pacify aggrieved factions of the union, promises to push for new minimum wage for workers. And President Baldwin Lonsdale calls for help over Cyclone Pam disaster in Vanuatu as death toll rises.
On Business News tonight, Africa CEO Forum seeks ways to encourage the growth of family businesses in Africa.
While on sports news, D-Day approaches as more schools intensify preparations for preliminaries of the Channel's National Kids Cup, which kicks off tomorrow in Lagos.
The Chief of Army Staff has vowed that the Nigerian Army will never again experience the humiliation it has been subjected to by the Boko Haram sect in Nigeria's northeast. Lieutenant General Kenneth Minima, who gave the assurance at the first quarterly conference of the Nigerian Army for 2015, says the Army will continue to re-strategize as the operations demand to ensure that total victory is achieved against the sect. Our correspondent, Amaka Okafor, reports.
Top military officials of the Nigerian Army in the company of the Chief of Army Staff for the Army Quarterly Strategic Meeting. The meeting, according to the Chief of Policy and Plans of the Nigerian Army, is to do stock taking of its operations in the northeast in the last 3 months.
It is necessary to effectively fire on all cylinders, especially as time is of excess. The conference has been made intentionally elaborate to cater for relevant, outstanding or current operational and administrative issues.
On his path, the Chief of Army Staff attributed the recent victory of the Nigerian Army to the doggedness of the soldiers in the field and improved resources and welfare. He gave the assurance that the trend will continue to ensure that the battle is won and the military will not be humiliated by the insurgents.
This conference, therefore, offers us the opportunity to re-strategize in order to speedily return the affected areas to normalcy. And I'm sure by the end of today, we will declare some states cleared of this topic. Never again shall Nigeria Army be humiliated the way we have been humiliated.
The meeting is also expected to assist the Nigerian Army prepare for the coming elections should their services be required as prescribed by the law.
During the course of the next 3 days, we will discuss a wide range of issues covering general administration of troops, future development plan of the Nigerian Army, as well as preparations for the upcoming 2015 general elections, which is a couple of days ahead.
The army hierarchy promised to continue to bombard members of the Boko Haram sect until they are brought down to their knees. Amaka Okafor, Channels Television News.
The Nigerian military says that it has cleared the Boko Haram sect from Yobe State, Nigeria's northeast region, after reclaiming the town of Goniri. Speaking on the Twitter handle, the Director of Defense Information, Major General Chris Olukolade, says that Goniri was the last stronghold of terrorists in Yobe State. This is coming on the same day that troops of the Nigerian military recaptured Bama, the commercial center of Borno State. The defense headquarters says the operations to retake Bama started on Thursday last week. While the multinational joint task force comprising Nigeria, Chad and Niger have met in Nigeria to further strategize on the operations of the task force in Nigeria's northeast, Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, Air Chief Marshal Bade, says the meeting is a sequel to the meetings in N'Djamena in Chad and Niamey in Niger to fine-tune areas in the operations where there are difficulties. He explained that the session is to ensure that the operation runs smoothly and continues to achieve the desired results by the three countries.
all processes and procedures towards the execution of what we are doing now have been concluded both at Jamina and at Niamey. So this meeting is sequel to my visit to Chad, where we saw some difficulties that need to be smoothened. So this is a place where, as brothers in Africa, as members of the LCBC, and as people executing this war, we are going to tell ourselves the truth. So because it's going to be purely technical in nature, we wouldn't want to tell the whole world how we are doing this work.
The Nigerian military may have recorded some success in the battle against the militant sect Boko Haram, but it may take as many as 6 years to completely defeat insurgency in the country. This is the view of some conflict resolution experts who explained in Abuja that the country might have to map out more strategies to contend with the insurgency for the next 6 years. According to an analysis by the researchers, increasing poverty and inequality has led to consistently violent conflicts, particularly in the northeast of Nigeria. Our correspondent, Gloria Umezioke, reports.
The battle by Nigerian troops to retake all territories controlled by the Boko Haram and generally cripple the terrorist group has intensified in the last few weeks through several collaborative efforts. Analyzing the success so far, a group of research experts undertook a research on the complex causes and processes of radicalization.
It takes average of 20-some years for most insurgencies to come to an end, but they do. You remember Sierra Leone, Liberia were in turmoil. The crisis ended, and this one will end. But by the average length it takes, if we say this is 6 years, that's quite early. We hope it will not last to the average of 20-something years before it ends, but it will end.
Niger is poorer than Nigeria by any account, but Niger also hasn't got the level of inequalities we have. Both inequalities between individuals and inequalities between communities. So once you put poverty plus inequality, that leads you directly to relative deprivation, and a sense that my poverty is because your own enjoyment. So there's something about the nature of our poverty linked with inequality that aggravates people more than Niger.
Boko Haram is more about the nation than a group of persons or political party, according to them.
This is a war of minds of people, of the way families are organized, education is provided, societies are disciplined and resourced, development takes place. We are never going to return to Nigeria of yesterday, but we can try to deal with the problem today and then build a better country.
Only recently, an audio message purportedly from an ISIS spokesman announced that a pledge of allegiance from Boko Haram has been accepted by the ISIS leader, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. But even with that, the experts believe that winning the war against terrorism is possible with the full cooperation of all Nigerians. Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
Despite the huge criticisms from various quarters, the card reader remains the best option for the 2015 general elections. This opinion was expressed by the INEC chairman, Professor Atahiru Jega, at a town hall meeting today in Abuja, organized by Reinvent Media in association with Channels Television. According to Professor Jega, the card reader reduces opportunities of rigging and adjusting accreditation data.
Given the challenges surrounding the 2015 elections, which have necessitated the shift from February 14th to March 28th, questions have been raised on whether elections will hold or not.
Created polling units.
In this town hall meeting, organized by Reinvent Media in collaboration with Channels Television, the Independent National Electoral Commission chairman, Professor Atahiru Jega, insists that the commission is ready and measures such as card readers have been put in place to ensure credible elections.
We used the opportunity of the extension to do further public demonstration of the card reader. done quality assurance tests, and we've also done field tests, which satisfied us that the card reader will operate very well. I believe that we are adequately prepared to deliver free, fair, credible, and peaceful elections.
Assuring the residents that the card reader remains the best option, the INEC boss also speaks on the issue of cloning.
We feel confident that using the card reader will help us ensure that no clone card would be used in the electoral process, because the card reader would only read cards that have been produced and issued by INEC.
Questions were raised from the audience and the social media platform on security, bribery, and the PVCs.
We feel satisfied that all security agencies have been working together, coordinating their activities so that there will be adequate security provisioning for the conduct of the elections.
Of course, the meeting gave room for Professor Jega to clear the air once again on speculations regarding his dismissal from office.
Nobody has told me I'm being removed. I'm not under any pressure, and I believe that it will be a disservice to this country at this point in time for me to say I'm resigning when I have absolutely no reasons why I should resign. So everybody in INEC is focused on delivering the best elections that we can for this country.
It's less than 2 weeks to the general elections, and INEC says it's ready. What Nigerians expect at this time is that March 28 becomes a reality and elections are free and fair.
In part 2, after the break, Allied Congress Party of Nigeria throws its weight behind INEC on the use of card readers for the general elections. Do stay with us.